Who I talked to about the retirement incentive.
You got to have. You might meet the 55.
I didn't meet the 55.
I have 15 years, so.
I don't have to worry about the 55.
No, no.
What do I go to now?
Okay, so. And she said that you must have an iPad unlocked passcode. So let's change that. So whatever you think, you need 6 or more digits that you can remember.
Yeah, I can remember.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
There we go.
I like the way you operate. So it remembers it?
Yes. Well, you might have to use it. You might have to use it when you get back on.
Okay.
So just to sign in. And she preloaded Simply on here.
Right there.
Now, do you use the app or do you use the website?
I use the app.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Ready for a meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank
You're
you.
all good to go.
Thank you much.
Yeah, you bet.
Hi, Josh.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. You have that one?
Are you sure? Because if you wanted to use it for this meeting, that's fine. Okay.
Hi, Angie.
How about you? You want us to tell you?
Yes, you have to. Is this your phone?
Oh, I'm supposed to tell you, talk to Nathan real quick.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, he's there to tell you how it-
How they doing?
Yeah, he's doing well.
Nothing. I mean,
In Ankeny, right?
Yes, thank you. Good.
Do you, generally use the app or do you use the Here's the app. Submit it with the app. And you can look at
my brother-in-law carries one still.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He has one. He has a
I
smart.
have a company phone too.
I'll make you know.
I don't know where it's going.
Hi, Aaron. I'm making it. Just wish I'd give my energy.
Still coming. There's still 2 come, I suppose.
They say I'm anemic. I'm taking iron down. It's just get out of breath. I don't hurt. I don't ache. Just get out of breath.
Hopefully you can find it.
I hope so. PT's going good with the knee. Did you go Sunday? I emailed you.
That is, yeah, I can understand.
Greatest. Tired. Energy.
I think, but there might be some.
Hannah.
Here's the definition.
A lot of help. A lot of people that came to the
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody that was like,
Yeah.
I did have a couple people that were like, what's up?
Oh, good.
A lot of people that come over.
Yeah.
I don't like doing that. But I figured I avoided it for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So probably.
Well, that's good. Good that you did it. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's kind of why I just started my
Yeah. And I told her
Okay.
come to Tom's thing next Sunday.
Oh, where's that?
I'm not sure.
It's okay, I'll find it.
So,
Sure. Find out, let me know.
Okay.
Now I know Precinct Caucus is a Presbyterian church.
Yep.
so there's that. So that would
I can't remember.
And as far as transportation report, I did put it out, kind of see what we're getting from.
30 seconds.
And then these 3 pages are the actual transportation report. Like they were so much. And I just took the that's regulation. But this is the actual report that was this is my understanding. And then expenditures that they have. So the only thing that's not included in here is student data linked to the accounts of the students because, yeah. So anyway, that's all that is. The only thing. Yeah. Okay.
Iowa State made it play tonight. Kansas. Pardon me? I didn't see the polls yet. They should be out.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think they.
Aaron thought they went up to 2. Iowa drop out.
Yeah, they're not the dogs.
Yeah, I figured they'd drop out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There's so many things you can do, you know, as a coach.
Saturday wasn't bad. Yesterday we left town at 6 a.m. to be up in Cedar Rapids wrestling tournament. That went until 12:30. Jaden had a birthday party for us at 2 o'clock. So we got there at 3. He then had soccer practice at 5 down in Keokuk at 7. So he ate for the first time last night. Because, you know, wrestling you don't
Yeah.
eat. And then we were just in the car. So Jaden's day was crazy and we were just like, oh.
All right, I have 6 o'clock. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Jessica, roll call.
Lent,
Here.
Williamson,
Here.
Schrader,
Here.
Overberg,
Here.
Hampton,
Here.
Maher,
Here.
Hurd.
Here.
Any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the agenda.
Motion to approve agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Lent,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Overberg,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Hurd.
Yes.
All right, first up we have our student spotlight. The yummy treats at the front is a foreshadowing of what's to come.
All right, come on up, guys.
Good morning, I'm Zoe Johnson. I'm a senior here at the high school, and I'm here to talk about our culinary arts program. So, a little bit to know, I'm in culinary 3, meaning this would be my 3rd year in culinary arts. I have grown up with a passion of cooking and baking and doing everything. A little bit about this year, we did Iron Chef here about the beginning of the year. I was not there due to, I was at FFA Nationals. Then we did rye bread. I can't remember who we donated that to. That is our teacher. Where did we donate it?
The Speedbirds Smorgasbord.
There, that's where we donated it to. We've done gingerbread houses. We've done kind of an overall, Culinary 3 we've done cupcakes and handed them out to teachers. So we did a chocolate cupcake with an apple compote with a whipped frosting. And we did just a plain chocolate cupcake. Here for Christmas, we did a goodie bag of cookies. We did snickerdoodle, chocolate chip, and all sorts of stuff, and passed those out to our custodians, our lunch ladies, all of our staff. Just trying to tell them thank you. We've tried to keep birthdays in mind. Culinary 3 we had to create our own restaurant. So I did homemade chicken Alfredo, which turned out really good, and I pass it on to my other people.
I'm Alexis Helwig. I helped out at the PO club, and we helped serve food to all those wonderful ladies. We learned how to plate the food and pick up the dishes afterwards. They were very wonderful people. Yeah.
I'm Ava Komiyawa. I had gotten first place with my teammates in the gingerbread competition. And we spent about 2 weeks doing it. It took a lot of communication and teamwork skills, and me and my teammates have all learned a lot from it.
I'm Bella Tedrow. I'm with Culinary 2, and I was a part of the Iron Chef. We won 3rd place, and we learned a lot of teamwork, skills, how to work together, help each other throughout the kitchen, and just know the safety rules. And Ms. Hummel has been really helpful with everything while we are in class, teaching us how to do all those skills. And yeah.
I also forgot to say we did Veterans Day breakfast. Thank you to all of you that have served for us. That was a big thing, giving back to our community. I think we got overall good things from that. We did egg casserole and then French toast or something casserole, and then just fresh fruit and stuff like that. We also have over here Oreo cheesecake cookies, which is one of the classics I like to make. It's something fun. It's really rich. And then we have Oreo cupcakes, which is a vanilla cupcake with crushed up Oreos and a chocolate frosting on top. Thank you all for your time. We appreciate it. Help yourself.
All right. Guys, thank you.
Is that why you sat him there?
Yep.
You're doing an amazing job, and Nicole, this is Nicole's, Mrs. Hummel's first year in teaching culinary and FCS, and you're doing an outstanding job. Thank you for the great job that you're doing. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, next up we have citizen comment.
Nobody contacted the board. Nobody contacted me to speak to the board.
All right. Next up, we have our Mount Pleasant Trap Shooting Program. John Klopinski is going to tell us more about it.
John, can I come up to the podium?
Yeah, for sure.
I've got notes.
Yeah.
I can't hold both at once, I'm sorry.
Good. You're on. Fantastic. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank everybody I try to do this once a year when I can. Kind of give an update on how our program is working. There's a lot of people in here that don't know about this program. I'm John Kloppenstein. I'm head coach for the Mount Pleasant Panther Trap Team. This is my 16th year doing this. I am one of the founding members of this. I have no vested interest. My kids are all grown and gone. I'm 65 years old, so that tells you how dedicated I am to this program. To kind of give you an idea, when we started this program, Mike Vins and I did in 2010. I had a son that was in high school. He wanted something to do. He wasn't a basketball player, wasn't a football player, but he wanted to belong. That was part of it. The Scholastic Clay Target program is grade-based. I require a C average with no Fs for semester. I get my lists to the school system, and hopefully if there's any young person that happens to be having problems academically that's on our team, I try to help them. We've had 2 of the kids that have had problems off and on in past years with turning homework in. So I made them bring their homework to practice. I made sure they got it to whoever they needed to. I had one young person having problems with math. I said, I'll contact somebody and we'll get you some tutoring if we have to. I will help you with this. My goal is to make sure these young people graduate from high school. I have 2 success stories since we started this program. I have one young person that was the first person in his entire family to graduate from high school because of the program. I have another one that lost his father, his support mechanism, when he was a sophomore. He would have dropped out without the program. So those are my 2 major success stories that I have with this program. Like I said, I asked for a C average with no Fs for semester. I'm not asking the world out of these people, but these people want to belong. My seniors, when it was agreed upon, my seniors and stuff, they can letter in this sport. And that has helped out considerably with them, with goals, okay? When we started this, the only 2 teams in Southeast Iowa were Fort Madison and us. We had to go and basically shoot twice in Fort Madison and shoot twice up in Fairfield, where our home place was at that time period. Then we would go to state. State consisted of a 2-day deal. It had 800 kids involved at that time period. So anyway, it has grown. Last year, we had 33 young people in our program, and this has grown to the point where it is a 5-day deal for our championship in Cedar Falls every year. And it goes from 4th graders to 12th graders. People ask me, how does this team work? I have 4th graders and I have 12th graders, and we're all on one team. I have girls and boys, we're all on one team. The basic competition that they have is in their age category, the scores that they have between them and that trap house. That's it. We have older students help younger students if they're having issues. So it's a team effort all the way around. We are all volunteers. We don't get paid for this. So I want to make that perfectly clear. We are self-sufficient. We ask the school system for nothing. The school has been very kind to let us start this as a club program, and that's worked out the best for us all the way around. We've been offered school buses and everything else, and I said no, but no thank you. Atoma still uses school buses, and when you go to some of these meets, you'll see school buses from all over Iowa. Right now, as of today, these are statistics, there's 118 teams across Iowa. There's over 20 colleges and universities across Iowa that has this program. We have 2 people that are right now at William Penn on shooting scholarships because of this program. We have Southeastern Community College has a shooting sports program with scholarships. So this is growing huge. Last year they had over 3,000 young people at state. That's 4th graders all the way up to 12th graders at state. They shot 771 targets. To give you kind of a background, everybody screams and hollers about firearms. Well, number 1 rule is to have a safe, fun experience with this program. That's how this works. Strict rules. No guns in school. No ammunition in school. No talking about shooting anything in school other than your competition stuff. Period. That's the way this works. So, we have, with all the things we have going on in this world right now, this program works, and it works very well. Right now, we are in the middle of sign up. It starts in January and ends in June at the state championships. What we normally do is we have a very good network of donors and everything that we do, like Pheasants Forever, Ducks Unlimited, White Tails, all of these programs and stuff donate to us. But one of the big ways we fund this program is we have a banquet, just like a Pheasants Forever banquet. And John, you've been to our banquet. All the money stays with the kids. None of it goes anywhere else. But people go and say, how much does this cost? I wrote a check last year for almost $5,000 for the entry fees just for state. That's just the entry fees. What we do is we have pride and ownership. The kids have to go and buy their own ammunition and pay for their own practice rounds. That's roughly $20 every week, because we want kids to have skin in the game. This isn't a free ride. Number two, all parents that are a part of this program are required to help somewhere. This isn't a spectator sport. You don't drop the kids off and say, here, and come back and get them. I have parents that like to score when we're doing practices or whatever. They help in concession stands when we're having our concessions and stuff for our meets. Our meet last year had roughly over 250 kids from over 8 or 9, I think there was 9 schools represented at the time. It's an all-day deal and it's a lot of work. But we are getting back to our banquet. Our banquet is February 28th. I have flyers here I'm going to give out to everybody that wants one. If you need more, can I leave these with you? What we basically do is, if people ask how much this program costs, well, I just spent last December almost $9,000 on one pallet of shells, because we supply the shells for the meat and we pay for the fees, the entry fees. The kids supply the other stuff. So our banquets, my budget runs around $25,000 to $30,000 a year. That's how this works. And we're all self-sufficient. Our banquet last year, and I'm not afraid to tell people this, if you do the math, you'll understand. We netted $30,000 in one night. But I just got through paying almost $10,000 in one pallet of shells. And state's over between $4,000 and $5,000 for the entry fees. That doesn't include anything else. Plus all the other ammunition we have to for all the other meets. Our average meet, let's say we go meet at Tumwa, and that's $900. And we have like 7 or 8 of these. So if you stop and do the math, it doesn't go very far. So anyway, that's kind of how this program works. I will be getting a list probably to the athletic director in the next probably couple weeks when we get all our sign up done. We're in the middle of that now. We have safety meetings starting out every Tuesday night, and we're going to go to a Sunday evening. We're having it at the Masonic Lodge because they volunteered to let us use the facility. We can also do gun safety there. We start it right out of the gate. March 1st, or the first Tuesday in March, is our live fire practices. Our first competition is the first weekend in April with North Mahaska. Then the second weekend is either Pekin or Ottumwa, whichever one they want to fight over the date at Ottumwa. Then our meet is the third weekend. And the more folks are interested in this program, to come see it. I mean, you just need to see it to understand what we do. And then after that it goes, Pella Christian had almost 160 kids last year in their program. And I don't know how Todd does it, other than he's got a good bunch of coaching staff. And all these people are all volunteers. Nobody gets paid a dime for any of this. So I look for parents to step up to the plate to volunteer, and anybody else that might be involved. There is a class you have to take to be a coach. I have to go to a coaches conference at the end of this month in Ankeny up at DMAC. Every year we have to go. That gives us our CEUs, plus they give us the updates on all of our rules and everything. And there's almost 200 coaches there. It's a one-day deal. But anyway, like I said, I've got 33 young people right now signed up. It's coming back. I think I'll have 2 seniors this year, and we're not sure how many rookies we'll have, and those are 5th graders. But it's quite a program. If anybody's got any other questions, comments, or whatever, please let me know. Got any questions from anybody?
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Yep.
First up, we are going to make a new practice of making sure that we're reviewing our district goals so we can stay grounded in what our focus is and what we're trying to achieve. So,
Yep, those are board members. The district goals for 25-26 are in your packet. Just talking it to Board President Lent, we felt like this, again, as she mentioned, would be a good idea each time we meet for the month to review our district goals. We have 5 goals. One is regarding graduation rate. By the end of the 25-26 school year, we will raise our 4-year graduation rate to 95%. Our current baseline is 80.3 on Iowa School Performance Profiles. Goal number 2, by the end of 25-26 school year, 90% or more of our students will be in attendance 90% or more of the school year or of the grading period. It's by semester, 90%. So chronic absenteeism percentage will be 10% or lower. Current baseline from Iowa School Performance Profiles is 11.2 of our students were chronically absent district-wide in 24-25. Goal number 3, academics. By the end of 25-26 school year, 80% of all Mount Pleasant students will be proficient in math and English language arts. That's as tested on Iowa testing. Current baseline is 69% in ELA and math. We do have, we're prepping now, getting ready for in 6 weeks or so when we're going to take the Iowa assessments. Goal number 4 for learning for social emotional behavior health by the end of 25-26. The percentage of students identified as at risk in the SABRS screener will decrease by 10% compared to the baseline in the fall of 2025. And then finally, goal number 5 in professional practice by the end of 25-26, 95% of collaborative teams, teacher collaborative teams, will rate themselves as tight for collective commitment number 1, which is collaboration. Educators working collaboratively rather than in isolation and taking collective responsibility for student learning. Our current baseline is 65%, and that was from spring 2025 surveys. So those are our 5 goals that we are working on. We revisit these in our district leadership team. We take a current look at where we're at and then the steps for progress on the district leadership team.
right. Next up, we have approval of minutes, claims, and financials. Jessica.
Hi. So as you can see, this spreadsheet up here, it goes all the way back to July because we had the Infinite Campus issue that is now sorted out. I am happy to report, and the balances in every fund have been updated. It most definitely only really affected general with student registrations, student activity with the purchase of yearbooks, and then nutrition when folks would go on to Infinite Campus to pay for afternoon milk or put lunch money in their student's account. So let's hop over to December of 2025, and you will see the 2024 column right there in the general fund. This is year over year. So December 2024, we had approximately 8.9 million as a fund balance in the general fund. December 2025, we declined to 7.3, approximately $106 million. The student activity fund, in 2024, $272,000. In 2025, $322,000. So that was an increase. Management fund. In 2024, we had about $1 million for a fund balance, and in 2025, right now, we're at 1.3. And that is all property tax funded, just so you know. The PEPL is next. December of 2024, we were at 2.5 million. December of 2025, 2.4 million. So that's a really great fund balance, especially noting that between PEPL and capital projects, we have been able to take care of the projects that have been going on over at Central Campus and building and paying for the RTM site. So now, capital projects, last year at this time, there was a $3.5 million balance, and right now there's a $2.3 million fund balance in that one. And honestly, that is really good considering all of the projects that we did over the summer, the Central Campus, the PEO building, just all kinds of different things, RTU units up on top of Central Campus, and many, many other projects that have taken place around the district. Debt service, we went from $121,000 to $128,000, and that is all interest from the bank. So there's really not anything going on in there right now. And then finally, the nutrition, December 2024, we had $871,000. December 2025, we have $764,000. And I do want to note that the Iowa Department of Education has increased the time that we have to spend that fund down to 6 months of operating costs that we can currently keep in our fund for this fiscal year. And then beginning next year, they'll kind of take a survey, a lay of the land, so to speak, of the schools in Iowa to see what their fund balances are. These significantly increased with the COVID money that came into everyone. As a rule of thumb, it's always been a school is only allowed to keep 3 months of operating costs in this fund. But like I said, this particular fiscal year, that has been increased to 6 months of operating funds in that particular fund. Does anybody have any questions on the financials?
The $764,000 in nutrition.
Yes.
How many months is that equivalent to?
That is equivalent to probably over a year. Yeah. And then during our finance committee meeting, you guys had a couple of questions on the bills, and I was able to research those over the week. Northwest Mechanical. You had a question on that bill. The bill is $20,352.87. That is a bill for controls for remote access to the HAVAC system at the Central Campus. And that bill also was dated June 9th, 2025. They had just forgotten to get it to us timely, but we were able to get that and get it paid, but that's what that was for. And then there was another bill for $49.99 that you had a question on to the University of Oregon. Registration was the detailed explanation on the report, but it's actually for PD registration, professional development for one of our middle school special education teachers. It's for a subscription that the University of Oregon offered, and they thought that that would be good for their student learning. Does anybody else have any questions? No? Okay.
Motion to approve minutes, claims, and financials.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Lentz,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Overberg,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Herb.
Yes.
All right, on to reports. First up is an instructional report, the district performance profile. Dr. Butler.
Angie Butler, Director of Instruction. I'm here to share the district level Iowa School Performance Profile. So I have shared the Iowa School Performance Profile in the past at the building level. New this year, the state of Iowa has also distributed district level performance profiles for each district in the state of Iowa. So this is something new in keeping with federal Every Student Succeeds Act, and making sure that we're being accountable for how our students are performing across the state. This is a new designation that has come out. Again here. Here we go. So the purpose of the district level ratings, and this is from the state of Iowa, is just to make sure that we are being accountable for school improvement, making sure that we're sharing and recognizing the commitment that we have for our students when it comes to both their growth, their attendance, post-secondary readiness, graduation rates, and you can see other areas that the state has identified as reasons for the district level ratings. Absolutely want to make sure that we're aligned with the accountability across the state. So the district level ratings include scores for students, all students across the district, but also breaks it down based on race and ethnicity, students with disabilities, students that are eligible for free and reduced lunch, and our English language learners. So something that's a bit different about these scores, we did have Iowa School Performance Profile data for each building. This score doesn't take those building level scores and combine them or average them. It actually takes all of our students and looks at our entire district as if it were one building and rescores it. So it is the same scoring mechanism, the same methodology to score it, but scores our entire population as if it were one building. So using that information, the state has identified, and this is for the entire state, the state has identified all the districts across the state as in one of the different categories. So the categories offered are, starting at the bottom, either priority, needs improvement, acceptable, commendable, high performing, or exceptional. So those are the options for categories. There are 329 districts in the state of Iowa, and you can see the designations right there. So there are 8 at priority, 30 at needs improvement, 100 at acceptable, 108 at commendable, 81 at high performing, and only 2 districts at exceptional. So it's how they're distributed across the state of Iowa. Okay? And if you were to go to the Iowa School Performance Profile, you could click on the view districts and see which districts are at each level. Okay? Simply type in Iowa School Performance Profile, and here's how you do it. If you want to look at a specific district, you type in the district name there and go to that district. If you want to see the report I just showed you, you click on View State Report, and that'll show you that report there. Okay?
Doctor?
Yes.
So as Dr. Butler was mentioning, if you have interest, all you got to do is Google Iowa School Performance Profile, and it'll come up. Click on it. This page will come up, and then it says search by district or school name. So you type in whatever district you want. Mount Pleasant, you can get it by district. You can get it by building then. If you go to the district profile, you scroll down, it will show all of our buildings. But if you're interested in the region, if you're interested in the state, just go to that page, type in the district, and it'll show you.
And if you click on State Report, it'll show you for the entire state. So it's very similar to the report that you would see for the district. Okay. So this is our overall performance as a district. We are commendable. So we're very happy to see that we're commendable. What that means is we've earned 606.79 out of the 900 possible points, or 67.42% of the possible points. State average is 63.28, so we're above the state average, which is a good place to be. We're within 2.18% of being high performing. So pretty close to being high performing. I can show this again. So we're right here at commendable, 2.18% away from being high performing. Okay, so let's look at that. That's based on several measures, and we're going to look at each one of the measures that that's based on. So the first measure that's based on is chronic absenteeism and growth. So chronic absenteeism, again, is based on a percentage of students that are at school for at least 90% or more of the day. We have a percentage of students that are chronically absent of 11.2% of all students. So only 11.2% of our students are chronically absent. State average is 15.8. So the little diamond on each one of these is state average. So we're at 11.2, state average for all students is 15.8, and then we break it down by English language learners, students that are low socioeconomic status, and students with disabilities. On all four of those, we're below state average.
So just to be clear, that's a good thing on this measure because our chronic absenteeism is lower than the state average.
And we did drop down, I believe the year previous we were at 27%, and within a year dropped it down to 11%. Once we focused on it, we were able to drop it significantly. I believe one of the greatest drops in the state with just in a year's time. So we've got a lot of people working really, really hard in our buildings, and Martha Peterson at the district level to make sure that we sustain that. And I feel strongly that we're going to meet that 10% goal that we've set for ourselves. Also with the chronic absenteeism is absenteeism growth. So the way this is measured is they've taken a group of students that were chronically absent in 2023-24. That set of students, specific set of students then were watched the next year in 24-25 to see if there was an improvement. So at each building, those students were, their attendance was recorded and to look for growth or to look for change, and we had an 8% change. So that means those students improved their attendance by 8% in 1 year. State average for improvement on attendance was 4.96. So we were quite a bit above state average on improving on those students that were chronically absent. So nice gains in both of those areas. Next is looking at growth for our students that are English language learners. Our students who take the ELPA, the English Language Learning Test, are tested in reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So you can see their state average. We're above in all four subgroups. All students, English language learners, the students that are English language learners that are low socioeconomic status, and our students that are English language learners who are also students identified as having special education services. Graduation rate. So this one we have a 4-year graduation rate and a 5-year graduation rate. One thing to keep in mind with graduation rate is that it's from year in the back. So the 4-year graduation rate shows students from the class of 2024. So we're at 80.3% from the class of 2024. The 5-year graduation rate shows students from the class of 2023. And those are students who needed an additional year to graduate, and that's 89.87. So this is an area of focus for us. We do have a goal of reaching a 95% graduation rate. Our district leadership team has been working very hard to create some action steps at all levels to work towards this graduation rate. By program, you can see we've got graduation broken down by students who are low socioeconomic status, students with disability, the 4-year rate, and then students with low socioeconomic status for 5-year graduation rate. We're very close to meeting state average for 5-year graduation rate. Okay, so growth. Growth gets a little confusing to look at. Growth is measured by what's called an SGP. It's a student growth percentile. And so this is something that we're going to become really familiar with because the new ISAS scores are going to come out here this next fall, this next year, that we're going to take this spring, that are going to come out in the fall, are going to come out in SGP percentile scores. So this is how the ISAS are going to be scored moving forward. What it is, it's a percentile score. So let's say it's a score between 1 and 99. If a student has a percentile score of, let's say, 85, that's saying that student is scoring higher or performing higher or better than 85% of the students that they're in the same class with. So it's a percentile score, and it's meant to help measure growth. So what they've done is they've taken percentile scores for all of our students, and they've put them in order from least to greatest, and they found the median. So when you put all of our students' percentile scores in order from least to greatest, you find the median. The middle of it, 48 is where we're at. The average, state average is 50. For English language learners, the median was 33. For students on free and reduced lunch, the median was 46. And for students with IEPs, the median was 36. So they're measuring growth. They're looking for our students making the growth we want them to make.
So does that, so our district goal has to do with
proficiency?
Right.
Yep.
So will we get both of those numbers, or the growth will be the only number reported moving forward?
We will get proficiency as well, yes, yes. But they're looking at when parents get their scores, they'll get an SGP number, so we're gonna have to do some learning around what that means. Got all kinds of slideshows from the state to dig into, so. It's a new way of looking at scores for students. Okay? So here's the growth for mathematics. For all students, we're a bit above the state average, we're at 53. 49 for English language learners, 50 for students on free and reduced lunch, and right at the state average for students with disabilities. Okay, participation rates, another thing they measure. An expectation is that all students in grades 3 through 11 take either the ISASP, or if the student's been identified as needing alternate assessment, they take something called the dynamic learning maps, or the DLM. They've got to take one or the other. If you don't have at least 95% participation rates, they drop you down a category. You can see we've done an excellent job of getting 99% plus in all of our assessments. So our building principals have done an excellent job of making sure all of our students are accounted for when it comes to state testing. Okay, post-secondary readiness. So we're going to look at two measures for post-secondary readiness across the board. First one is college credit. This is going to measure students that are either have completed concurrent enrollment, or they've taken an AP class and earned a score of 3 or higher. And this is for students that were in the 23-24 graduating class. There's college credit right there. So for all students, we were 69.31, state average was 70. And then we were 62.5 for free and reduced students. State average was 54, so we were well above, which is great to see. And then the second half of that measures work-based learning. So this is actually for work-based learning. This is from a different grade level. This is for 24-25 seniors. And these are students who have taken courses that are coded with work-based learning. So those are courses that give them opportunities to engage in job shadows or activities, project-based activities that give them hands-on learning. And you can see we're well above, for both subgroups, well above state average. This is an area where we continue to grow opportunities and experience for students. Something that we're building right now, they're called industry recognized credentials. This is something the state is going to start adding into this measure, actually this year, heading into next year, opportunities for students to earn certifications that are recognized out in the community. Think of like a welding certificate that would be recognized in a welding job, CPR certification, any kind of certification that's going to be recognized in the workforce. We want to make sure we're offering opportunities for students to earn those while still in school. So those are opportunities and options that we're looking for to make sure kids have as many options and opportunities to achieve as possible.
So does that apply to just seniors since it's out of 123 students?
That would be all the students that are able to take it, I would imagine out of that class. I'd have to explore that and find out for you where the
So that seems
123
like
comes
a
from.
low number, right, if we're talking about the entire high school.
Yeah. I can certainly find out where that number comes from. Okay?
I think it'd be just seniors, because.
Said class,
You
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I know. That's a good question.
It says 24, 25 seniors, so that's probably what that's from.
Okay.
But I could double check the numbers for you. Okay, now we get to proficiency. So this is where we have our district goal of 80% is the expectation or the goal that we want to get to. English language arts, all students were at 68.69. State average is 73.5. So we're not quite there. And then you can see the percentages for our students, our English language learners, our students on free and reduced, and our students with IEPs. We have done some digging as a system, and we're looking at really a heavy focus on writing. Writing is an area that we need to spend some time on, and we're making moves in that direction. Math is the other half of that equation. We want to be at 80%. We're at 69.49. State average is 70.9. Our English language learners, our students on free and reduced are above state average, just, and our students with IEPs are close to state average. Then our science proficiency, we are at or above in all 4 subgroups. We had a nice gain in science this year as well. So all of those scores are taken, totaled up, and that gave us 606.79 out of the 900, or 67.42%, which gave us our commendable rating as a district. What questions do you have?
I don't have any questions, but I would just like to thank all of everybody in the district. Those are great results. Shows effort of everybody's hard work and dedication, and super happy that our kids are achieving.
Yeah, I would like to echo that. Angie, I want to say thank you to all of our teachers who are working so hard every day in the classroom to empower all of our students to achieve without limits. I want to thank our collaborative team leaders. We're a PLC district, and we have collaborative team leaders who go above and beyond. They lead those collaborative teams. They have training every month on how to lead collaborative teams. And I want to commend Dr. Butler for her work as a leader in the system and systematizing what we do as a district, instructionally, academically. There are so many pieces, and PLCs or collaborative teams are a piece. Our instructional walkthroughs, our instructional rounds are a piece. The gradual release of responsibility. There's just so many important pieces. Our district leadership team, and it's a collective effort to see results like this. So thank you, Dr. Butler, for all of that. I want to show you something, and I'm going to go out on the limb here just a little bit. All district scores are run through the system, and so the percentages that you see, everybody in that sense is graded the same way. But I just want to show you here, and if this will come up for me, I'm going to go to my browser, Iowa School Performance Profile. I'm going to click on that, Iowa School Performance Profile. I'm going to click on that, and as I said, this gets you to the page that we were talking. It's that, whoops, sorry about that. This gets you to the page that we were talking about. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. And so you can select a year. You can select a school year. These are the results from 2025. But you can, if you just do the drop down, you can see there's other years that are in there if you want to go backwards. But I'm gonna go to our school district, Mount Pleasant Community School District, and bring it up. So this is an overall look at our district. Dr. Butler already went through, she already went through this percentage right here. And I guess what I want to share with you tonight is, you know, you might see, maybe you have seen on social media that, hey, we're the best district in this area. We're the best district in this area. We're the best district in the region. All these things. That's fine. You should tout the great things that you're doing, and we're doing the same thing. You know, we want to let everybody know that we in this system have been identified as a commendable school district. But I just want to tell you, and I think it's important. Not all school districts have the same demographics, and that's important to remember. You know, Mount Pleasant, our low socioeconomic status at 44%. Our English language learners, I've said to you, we are almost 10% of English language learners. Not all districts have 10% English language learners. A lot of districts have 0%. Our students with disabilities, we have over 16% of our students who need special education services. So it's not, we're all graded the same way, but our demographics are much different. And you know what? Our demographics here in Mount Pleasant are going to look way different than in other districts, you know, who serves many, many more English language learners. So I felt compelled to say that, Doctor. You can go in, you can spend time looking at this. It's interesting. It's interesting data to take a look at. All that said, I already gave kudos, and I'll say it again. I want to commend all of our instructional staff and everything that they do every day to make this happen. So.
Thank you. We have shared it on social media, but if anybody wants to reshare it, it's a great thing to share out to the community that we did score commendable and we are making good gains. So, superintendent reports.
Okay, a few things in the superintendent's report. The legislative update. We had a Great Prairie regional superintendent's meeting last week. As they get ready for the legislative session, we had Kate Walton, who lobbies for the AEAs, Dave Doughton, who lobbies for School Administrators of Iowa, Michelle Johnson with the Iowa Association of School Boards, and Margaret Buckton with Rural Schools of Iowa. These are just some of the things that stood out to me. Lots of leadership changes on both sides of the aisle. So we're dealing with new leaders in the Senate, new leaders in the House. So a lot of leadership changes on committees as well, both Democrat and Republican. The first thing that the legislature, not legislator, but as a group, spelled that wrong. I spelled that wrong. The first thing the legislature will need to do when they convene is pass an appropriations bill, because there's a $375 million shortfall in fiscal year, the numbers in, and revenues have not met the expenditures. So they're going to have to appropriate $375 million either from the Iowa Taxpayer Relief Fund or from the budget surplus, or a combination of both. So when we talk about budgets, the state budget and how it affects school budgets, and here's a great example of what we're dealing with. They just said this will truly be a tough budget year. Lots of discussion about property tax reform. They said no specifics, and they said there will be something. They said it will not be finalized until the end of the session, is the way that will go. This was interesting data as well. 7,000 from certified enrollment in October 2024 to certified enrollment of October 2025, 7,326 fewer students in the state. And that's
Is that public school?
public schools,
That's
certified enrollment.
Charter or private?
Yes, Josh, I don't know the answer to that. I'll find that out for you. But we are serving, as a state, we're serving 7,326 fewer students across the state. I will find that out. Okay. The question came up, will they look at the SAVE fund, Secure and Advanced Vision for Education? That's the penny sales tax that we use for school infrastructure. For Mount Pleasant, it's about just a little over $2 million per year. So the question was, will they look at SAVE to try and fill some holes in the budget? Right now, the original statute, the original state SAVE statute says it's to be used only for school infrastructure and for school property tax relief. So we'll see where that goes. This is interesting. Teacher salary supplement. The teacher salary supplement that gets teacher salaries, starting teacher salaries up to that $50,000 minimum, or if you're 12 years or more, that $62,000 minimum. That is now based on the number of students instead of number of teachers. So that's enrollment based. It's a figure on the aid and levy that's part of your enrollment. So that has changed. Different subject school districts will be required to use E-Verify. I already mentioned that to you. They're just sure that that is going to happen. I mentioned to you that that's part of our process as well. They've said multiple times regarding student athletics that they're going to look at disparities in success between the privates and the publics, and what that looks like for districts that have high free and reduced lunch numbers. This was a lobbyist comment. This is just what the lobbyist said, but it caught my attention. It said this will force the athletics associations to be more proactive if they don't want to see action from the legislature on this. So we'll see where that goes. There have been some pre-filed bills already. The Department of Education has pre-filed some bills regarding education preparation or preparation for teachers. They're going to require, the bill would require an extra course on special education or for special education. And there's part of the bill that also would include a content assessment exam, which is interesting because we recently, if you guys remember, it's just been a couple of years ago, we had the praxis exams, and it was, with the teacher shortage, they went away from the praxis exam, but now they're talking about some kind of an assessment again. Talented and gifted, some state governance. There will be some state governance. This is a pre-filed bill, so whether it passes or not, but there would be some state governance on how students qualify for TAG, and there would be requirements for acceleration programs in all content areas. And then this last one was just, again, it was a comment by one of the lobbyists that education savings accounts are state policy. They're not going to go away. They made the comment that money should follow the student back to the public school if they withdraw after October 1, because currently, those dollars follow the students. Well, and I don't know how often this happens. I don't know that we've had it happen here, but if a student withdraws from a public school and goes, from a private school, goes back to public school, there's going to be some push that saying that those monies should fall on the student. And then some talk about leveling the playing field, same regulation requirements, same oversight requirements, Iowa School Performance Profile, special education, it all ought to be equal if they're using state dollars to fund private education. So that's the legislative update. The next thing I want to talk about is the December 2025 Revenue Estimating Conference. Estimates, board members, you have this in your packet. Just real quickly, the good news on the revenues is that for fiscal year 26, they are projecting an 8.8% decrease in revenues compared to the previous year, fiscal year 2025. They had that at 9%. They redid their estimates in December. And remember, the governor has to set her budget on the December REC estimates. So 8.8%, and then I know this is a long ways out, but fiscal year 27, they are projecting a 4.2% increase in fiscal year 27 compared to fiscal year 26's estimates. So it's hard, it's estimates, and so but that's what the projections are. Okay, I wanted to mention high school civics assessment. The graduating class of 2027, state required now they have to pass a civics assessment to graduate, have to pass it at 60%. There's no limit to the number of times someone could take it. We were a pilot school district in giving that assessment, and we took that right, our kids took our junior class, members of our junior class took that right before our Christmas break. I think, Dalton, is it right? We had 92 students take the civics assessment, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, and we don't have results yet. The results will be coming, but if it was a pilot on the assessment, but if the kids pass it, then they're good. They won't have to take it again. But appreciate Dalton heading that up, making Mount Pleasant a pilot school district for that assessment. Just a reminder that the Ready, Set, Govern professional development for the board is here on Wednesday. It starts at 6 o'clock. And so that's regional. Oh, yeah, sorry. Thank you. Supper is at 5. Yeah. Wilson Brothers Barbecue, by the way. So the School Board Association will be putting that on for the region. And so looking forward to that. Looking forward to having Dr. Dentlinger, new superintendent. She's going to attend as well, so that'll be good. That's on Wednesday. January 26th, our work session. What we're going to do at that work session, we'll have a report from our facilities ad hoc committee on the kind of the results and the conversations that we had in October, November, and December regarding attendance centers, elementary attendance centers, and the future of our attendance centers. I also, I talked to Board President Blint. I want to go back over some of the demographics that we went over as a board back in June, some of our enrollment data, regional live births, those kinds of things, so we have a good foundation to work from with all of that.
And communication, we're going to do some communication brainstorming.
Oh, yes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We did talk about that. If I was a good communicator, I'd remember that.
maybe a better listener.
A better listener, thank you. Thank you.
I won't say whether Robin has told me that before or not. Okay. January 26th, that particular day is Day on the Hill. If people are interested in going to Day on the Hill to meet with legislators, you can let me know that. January 28th at 8:30, we're going to be, Jessica and I are going to be meeting with Tim Oswald from Piper Sandler. Piper Sandler and the Iowa School Finance Program, they support districts with what is called the comprehensive financial planning model, CFPM. We're using them. They have worked to develop our CFPM, and Tim is going to go over that with us on the 28th of January at 8:30. If you're interested, let me know. We're just going to do it in the conference room there at central office. So so that would be kind of a preview, because on the 23rd at our work session, we have scheduled one of the Piper Sandler folks to present that Iowa School Finance Comprehensive Planning Model here. We're going to talk about fiscal plan and equipment levy planning for the next year as well. I do want to, there's a couple of things as we talk about the CFPM that I want to share with you, because they set up our model and they did a little bit of an overview. There's several pages here, but I included this in your packet. As we are looking, Jessica went over our financial reports from year to year, and again, this is not new information for you. I've been sharing this for some time with you about our budget year over year, and the general fund budget, and how reduced enrollment affects all of that. But I just highlighted a few of the things from the report overview. What they're seeing is a big loss in miscellaneous income of about $1.5 million. That has created a hole in the budget that hasn't been filled yet. That is not new information. I've been sharing with you regularly. The ESSER dollars, the COVID dollars that we received up through fiscal year 24, that was coded as miscellaneous income. And so the fiscal year 24 was the end of the ESSER dollars. So we used those dollars, we spent them well, we increased our services to students with behavior needs, behavior concerns, and we haven't reduced. We haven't looked at our budget for reductions yet. And I'm not saying that we need to reduce in that particular area, but what I'm communicating to you is that there is a hole in the budget, as pointed out by Piper Sandler, and it's going to have to be addressed as we continue to face reduced enrollment and low state supplemental aid. The break-even spending on the district's, break-even spending based on the district's enrollment and SSA. The model that they're using is 2% SSA, and the model that they're using is a reduction in student enrollment of about 44 students per year over the next number of years. That's been our historical average, and as you guys know, when you look at the state projections for year 2029-2030, that would be pretty close to where we would be. So the comment here, the district can spend approximately $25.3 million for the next few years without dipping into unspent authorized budget. However, in fiscal year 25, the district spent 103% of the current year authority. So, and again, we knew that that was the case. And so the comment here, if cuts weren't made for fiscal year 26, they need to be made for fiscal year 27. We're currently in 26. Obviously 27 would be the next year. My comment here would be they need to be made, whether they're 2027 or fiscal year 2028, there needs to be some adjustment in our general fund budget. Current assumptions require a $1.3 million cut in fiscal year 27 to stabilize our unspent authorized budget decline, and then ongoing cuts in fiscal year 28 and beyond to constrain the growth based on the historical rates that I just mentioned. Unspent authorized budget, we will talk more specifically about that, what the district is comfortable with, because you can sustain a reduction in general fund over some time, but it has to be corrected because you'll see that our unspent authorized budget, unless you make those corrections, your spending authority is very quickly going to go down. So I wanted to share that as part of what is coming up with the comprehensive financial planning model. And since we talked about the state budget, I just want to give you guys a good, kind of a broad bird's eye view of what the state is dealing with. So the following chart, this is from Margaret Buckton at Rural Schools of Iowa, one of the lobbyists. She's also is with Iowa School Finance Program. The following chart is a picture of the budget surplus over the subsequent 5 years after that, even if revenues march on at 4.2% and spending is held at 2.7%. So let me take a look at this with you. This is general fund, the state. This is general fund surplus or deficit. So in fiscal year 25, the surplus at the state level was about $5 billion. Okay? And what this graph is showing is that if revenues increase at 4.2% and spending increases at 2.7%, this graph shows the effect on the budget surplus, which after 2030 is no longer a surplus, but a deficit. And the comment at the bottom here is just 2 years from now, the legislature will be coming into session hoping that they can avoid credit downgrades and a deficit. 3 years after that, these are her comments, 3 years after that, they'll be in the soup by almost $2 billion. And that's really the best case scenario. There's never been a protracted period of time when revenue growth has exceeded spending growth by 1.5 points, which is what this shows right here. So things can change, things can change, but this is kind of, I feel like I need to share with you, this is the overall look. And so if we, education is top as far as state spending goes. And so when we look at state supplemental aid, based on some of these projections, it's going to be tough. It will be tough.
I'm looking at this right. This is saying 4.2% growth, and we're at a negative 8.8, 26. Is that correct? So like right off the bat, we already know it's worse than what this is saying.
The estimate of revenue from the fiscal year 26 projection compared to fiscal year 25, is a decrease of 8.8%. So, if you would like to come on the 28th of January, you're more than welcome. Let me know. Excuse me. But we are going to take a look at this deeper on February 23rd at that work session. And then finally, in the superintendent's report, again, I just want to say kudos to Dr. Butler. Dr. Butler is a board member on what used to be Iowa ASCD, Association of Curriculum and Development. That group is now called the Iowa Association for Teacher Learning and Leadership. And Dr. Butler wrote an article for that group. It's included in your packet. It's also on the website. The document is on the website if you want to look at that. She did a great job of kind of an analogy between art and the art of teaching. So nice job with that, Dr. Butler. That's the superintendent's report. You want to get up and talk about it, Angie? Go through it?
Any questions for Mr. Henderson? All right, on to board committee reports. The minutes of the committee meetings are attached. Any comments or anything you want to share coming out of committee meetings?
The walking track is going to be opening?
Yes, in new business, we have that. All right, moving on, other board communication. Does anybody have? Yes, Greg?
I do recommend the cookies.
Nice. That's
I'm eyeing the cupcakes. Next, we have consent items. We have personnel and open enrollment. We can take these as separate or all as one. On personnel, we do have this new superintendent contract with Dr. Sharon Dentlinger. She did not come tonight because she is going to be here on Wednesday to participate in learning with us. So.
I'll move to approve both.
Is there a second?
Second.
Jessica, roll call?
Flint,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Overberg,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Hurd.
Yes.
And next we have unfinished business. I think this is the first time that we've had unfinished business. Our unfinished business is we need to approve an official district newspaper publication that did not get completed in our organizational meeting last month.
Yeah, so we talked about this at the organizational meeting. We also talked about this at our committee meeting last week. These are the requirements for an official publication under Chapter 618 of the Iowa Code. And so you're aware of what those are. Jessica did reach out and recent publications, December 8th, like our regular meeting minutes and claims in the Southeast Iowa Union was $626. The same publication in the Hawkeye would be $960. The organizational meeting minutes in the Union for December 8th were $88, and in the Hawkeye the same publication would be $102. My recommendation for the official publication newspaper for the board would be the Southeast Iowa Union.
Thank you for looking into this. I'll move to approve the Southeast Iowa Union.
Is there a second?
Second.
Jessica, roll call?
Flint,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Overberg,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Hurd.
Yes.
On to new business. First, we have consideration to approve fiscal year 27 at-risk and dropout prevention plan.
Okay, so this, and again, thank you for I had to be going on Friday from the Finance Committee meeting, and I know that this was gone over at the Finance Committee meeting. The district is required by the state to have an at-risk and potential dropout plan. The plan includes our processes and timelines for preschool through 5th grade. I'm sure you looked at those on Friday. It includes our grades 6 through 8 processes and timeline, our early warning system there, and then it includes our grades 9 through 12 processes and timeline for identifying and serving our students who are potentially are at risk or potential for dropping out. So just in general, the budget where we use our at-risk and dropout prevention funds, because those at-risk and dropout prevention funds are a per pupil amount that you receive based on your enrollment. There's also modified allowable growth that you can receive based on a formula, a state formula. Our funds generally, our IJAG program, our school resource officer, our high school ACE room, our social worker program costs, our Whiz and Quest costs, those generally use up the amount that we receive for our at-risk funds. So the next agenda item is to approve the modified allowable growth that we could receive for that. But I'm asking you for this agenda item to approve the fiscal year 27 at-risk dropout prevention plan.
Any questions about the plan? Otherwise, then motion to approve.
Were there any changes from the previous year?
You know, so this, Aaron, this is and this is a good thing. This is the first time that the state has required of districts we want your plan. We want to see your plan. We were operating, you know, as a system like this, but the good thing about it is it forces us to put it down, talk about it, think about it in a plan form. So that's a good thing. So in that sense, there is no changes, but we did have communication as a team at each level on how we are serving our kids who are at risk and potential dropouts.
When the middle school administrators presented, when Mrs. Orris presented the early warning system, that's included in here now, and they've been working off of that. So in a sense, they continue to evolve and change, but that's detailed business. Any other questions? Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Jessica, roll call?
Lentz.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
Overberg.
Yes.
Hampton.
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
Hurd.
Yes.
Next, as John mentioned, we have consideration to approve fiscal year 27 modified supplemental amount for at-risk and dropout.
Yeah,
prevention.
and so this is based on a state formula. We would qualify for $340,528 in modified supplemental amount, not cash, but spending authority to spend on at-risk and dropout prevention. We definitely want to get the spending authority whenever we can get it. I would recommend that you approve.
Questions or motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Jessica, roll call?
Lentz.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
Overberg.
Yes.
Hampton.
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
Hurd.
Yes.
Next, we have consideration to approve the first reading of School Board Policy 500 series, which focuses on students and is lengthy.
Okay, yes, it was very lengthy. We went through this at our policy committee meeting. There were some questions. So I do have answers for you on these policies that we looked at. I'll start with Anna Harmon from the School Board Association, their attorney. 502.3, the question was about student speech and regulating student speech. And as she said here, a common example of school-sponsored speech. Well, let me tell you this first of all before what she did emphasize to me was that, remember, John, these policies belong to the district. They're not, the policies are vetted by the attorneys at the School Board Association. We have sample policies, but they really belong to the district. So whatever we do to them within the parameters of mandatory policy is up to us. So that's where she started. Anyway, a common example of school-sponsored speech is graduation speeches. Districts often review these speeches before students present them. And that was some of our conversation around school-sponsored speech. Would be the same thing with publications as well, a district newspaper, those kinds of things. So that was her response on that. The search and seizure regulation that talked about, I think it said based on sex. I could pull it up. But for 502.8, this language is taken directly from Iowa Law 808A.2. For instance, many districts when they do a student search, may take into consideration whether a student would be more or less comfortable being searched by a member of the same or opposite sex. She's mentioned that there's extensive case law on that as well. So those were the language and intent things that she responded with. I will also, 501.07, student transfers out or withdrawals. I will go to that so you can see how I did change that language. So the student or the parent, when a student withdraws or transfers, return of district property, including textbooks, library books, locker equipment, technology devices, etc., is how I changed that language. Policy 502.8E, the search and seizure checklist. Let's see right here. No, that's not the one that I want. I did put there's a signature line in it, in the, let me do this. If I look at it this way. Right there. That's what I wanted to point out to you. There is now there's now a signature line in 502.E1, the search and seizure checklist.
That one needed to have the full page as well.
Yeah, we changed that as well. Oh, sorry. We changed that here. Yep, and we changed it here as well. Yep.
And it's missing 0.8.
Oh.
There. I thought I saw some.
Thank you. All right. Save. Okay, thanks for pointing that out. Let's see. 503.01, student conduct. 503.01, student conduct. Under the area of detention, I just tried to clean that up. Assigning detention and the length of the detention is within the discretion of the licensed employee or the building principal disciplining the student. That's that one. I used the same language in 503.08. Same language there. Couple more. 504.06, student activity program. The language there was a little bit confusing. So what I did was this. Students will have an opportunity to participate in a school activity program unless the student cannot participate for disciplinary reasons. Just clean and simple. Uh, 506.01 R1, Education Records Access. There's a question on the number of days, and so I looked at some other policies. And at number 9, the parents may appeal the hearing officer's decision to the superintendent within 5 business days. Number 10, the parents may appeal the superintendent's decision or the hearing officer's decision if the superintendent was unable to hear the appeal to the board within 5 business days. And then finally, 506.02 R1, student directory information. There's a question on just how that was written. It was kind of written more of in a letter form to parents rather than in regulation form. So I just cleaned it up. I didn't highlight anything. I just cleaned it up, took the, so it just reads like a regulation rather than a letter to the parents. Those were questions that you guys had as we went through policy, the 500 series, first reading. We'll do a second reading next month. Believe it or not, we are down to after the 500 series, we're down to the 600 and the 700 series, and we'll be all the way through them. We started with 800. So anyway, we're going to get there. So we're making progress. I'd recommend that you approve first reading.
Any other questions on the 500 series? Motion to approve first reading of the School Board Series 500?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call?
Flint.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Schrader. Overberg.
Yes.
Hampton.
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
Hurd.
Yes.
Next, we have consideration to approve the Activities Center walking track application for public use.
Okay, had a lot of conversation about this as a committee, had a lot of conversation about this as a group, from buildings and grounds to instructors who are at the activity center to technology, everybody involved. We came up with this application. Just some of the highlights for people who are here or people who are watching online. I'm going to recommend that the Activity Center walking track be open upon board approval, starting now if the board approves it. The general dates would be September 1 through May 31 during the school year. We landed on that because that's when we would have people there we would regularly be there after people have used the track. The time would be 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. I'm not going to go through all of these. Individuals would need to come to central office. They would pay a $25 application fee. The fee would cover a background check and a key card or a key fob that will be programmed for that time, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. During those dates. They will fill out the application. The $25 covers the background check and the key card. Once the background check comes back clean, their key card or their fob would be activated, again, programmed for those times. We had this vetted by our attorney group. They have looked through it, signed off on it, or given us a thumbs up on it. I went through it all with the board committee. Would recommend that you approve.
Upon approval, the pushing out the notification on our website and social media
Yep.
outlets. Any questions, comments on this?
Who can you, I mean, I know we're gonna do a background check. Can use it, other communities come in and use the walking track, or is it limited to Mount Pleasant residents?
the way our application reads is 18 years of age or older.
So if a person works in Mount Pleasant and is in town at those times or wants to use it and they come to the central office and fill out, they're not eligible.
I know there was some conversation about wear and tear. Is that something we're gonna consider, or is it?
You mean wear and tear of the track? Were you talking, Kevin, about the direction of walking? Yeah, I will follow up with Chad Binghouse about that. We can certainly, and I just haven't yet. We can certainly, again, as Mike had mentioned, if it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday this way, Tuesday, Thursday, the other way, we can certainly get signage. Chad is getting all of that signage ready to go and go up. So, but this is something. I will just tell you, I probably had as many questions about this as anything, and so been trying to, we've tried to listen to our community and take everything into consideration and open this up as an opportunity for the walkers in our community.
Any competition with the rec center?
We were, when Iowa Western was open, we had people that used the rec center, we had people that used Iowa Western. We didn't look at it as competition.
Any other questions?
Is it a running track, or is it a walking track, or can we walk and run at the same time?
I've never seen anybody walk and run at the same time. No, sorry. It's a great question. I mean, we've assumed that it's a walking track. I'm sure there are things that we'll have to deal with, as they come up. I don't know, Mike. You're as familiar with anybody. As familiar as anybody as when it was being used when Wesleyan was.
We had walkers, we had joggers, we had sprinters, we had people that sprint the straightaway, jog the curve, while people were walking.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
We had every assortment that you can imagine.
I just didn't want to run over John while he was walking.
I would like to see that.
Yeah,
I'll be sprinting the straightaways.
We'll be broadcasting that live feed. Anything else? Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Jessica, roll call?
Lentz?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Schrader? Overberg?
Yes.
Hampton?
Yes.
Maher?
Yes.
Hurd?
Yes.
Thank you. That'll be, applications you can come to central office and start those in the morning.
Right.
Next we have consideration to approve central campus property insurance renewal.
Okay, our insurance renewal for Central Campus, you've got that in your packet. I'm going to go to that because I think I made a few more notes on it than yours. No? Okay, maybe not. Okay, so the property insurance on Central Campus for the annual, it's for $25.1 million in total insured value. That is for the chapel, the activity center, and the student union. That's what that covers. Now, everything is covered with liability insurance, but we insure the property on those 3 buildings. The policy premium total with commissions and such It's $187,468 for 26 from January 2025 to through December 2026. Last year we renewed at $223,452, so a pretty significant decrease in premium coverage. So would recommend that you approve.
Any questions on that?
Is the agent commission 10% on top of the 187,000, or is that included in it?
Let me go back to that, Craig. It is included in the total. I thought I had that on there. Sorry, I have another page on this. The agent commission at 10% would be part of the 187,468. Is that correct? That's the total. Yeah, that is the total. As my conversations with our local agent, the 187,468 is the total.
Any other questions? Motion to approve?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Roll call?
Lent,
Yes?
Williamson,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Overberg,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Hurd.
Yes.
Just a reminder on that as well, property insurance premiums are a management fund expense. They're not a general fund expense, so that will be expensed out of the management fund. I should have mentioned that to you. So.
Next, we have consideration to approve high school FFA fundraisers.
So February 2026, they'll be doing Ag Week here at the high school with FFA. They have several fundraisers in Ag Week. It's always a great week, a lot of fun. They have a hat day on Monday, $1 to wear a hat. You would definitely be invited to the faculty breakfast on Tuesday. Drive a tractor on Wednesday. If you want to drive your tractor, I'm sure they'd let you do that as well. Thursday is the pancake supper. That's a free will donation. And then Friday, February 27th is Kiss a Pig. The students purchase $1 tickets throughout the week to vote. Mr. Wilson was the lucky one last year. Maybe Mr. Stone, you'll be kissing the pig this February. So, would recommend that you approve.
Motion to approve the FFA fundraisers.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Jessica, roll call?
Lent,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Overberg,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Hurd.
Yes.
And our final item is consideration to approve the high school student council fundraiser.
Yep, student council, Mr. Stone let me know that the student council would like to do a fundraiser. They have done this in the past, where they're going to be selling carnations and delivering them the week of Valentine's Day. Fundraiser will help with other events, but including but not limited to homecoming, reindeer games, and other school activities. You've got your student council members there asking the board, would recommend that you approve.
Motion to approve the high school student council fundraiser.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Jessica, roll call?
Lent,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Overberg,
Yes.
Hampton,
Yes.
Maher,
Yes.
Hurd.
Yes.
Just one final reminder, we also, didn't have this in the superintendent's report, Teachers Night Out is this Wednesday, the 14th, out at the winery. Starts anywhere between 3:30 and 4 o'clock. Now I know we have Ready, Set, Govern that evening, but you are more than welcome to go out to the winery. We so appreciate our chamber. That's put on by our Chamber Alliance and the businesses that are in our Chamber Alliance. So we so appreciate the chamber and the businesses that support Teachers Night Out. You board members, you're welcome to head out there. It's always a great time. We'll just have to shut it down pretty quickly because we're going to have to be back here for Ready, Set, Govern. So.
All right, with that, I will adjourn the meeting at 7:40.
These are huge. Good meeting, Kevin, huh?